Well, Luigi Mangione is back in court today, day 3 of his pretrial hearing, happening exactly 1 year after United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was gunned down on a New York City street. You can see Mangione sitting in court this morning, the prosecution calling Altoona police officer Tyler Fry to the stand. Fry was one of the officers who helped apprehend Mangione inside that small-town Pennsylvania McDonald's. Body cam video playing inside that courtroom, breaking down exactly what happened when police searched Mangione. NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber is following the very latest. Ellison, this body cam video shows them searching his home after he was taken away. Why is that relevant for the defense?
So, I mean, look, you have to remember what these hearings are about are really two constitutional issues that are at play. One, the question about Miranda rights. Should it be admitted into court? The 15 to 20 minutes of conversations Mangione had with police officers prior to them reading his Miranda rights. And then this question about the searches of his persons, as well as a backpack that he had with him before having a search warrant. And what we're seeing and have seen really even since Tuesday is a meticulous documentation going through every bit of body camera footage from that day. From the officers in that McDonald's. This morning, we started with another Altoona, Pennsylvania police officer on the stand, the 7th witness, and they were going through and asking him about the search, right?
Looking
at the body. Yes, this is Officer Fry, looking at his body camera footage, talking about the way they searched his body. Then at one point, they start asking him, the assistant DA is asking him about the backpack, and another officer touching it, and how far away was it? And he says in his testimony, Officer Fry does, about a foot away. That's incredibly relevant, because the fact is they didn't have a warrant to search this backpack where they allegedly found the murder weapon, and they also allegedly found things that go to motive, right? These diary entries that have been called so-called manifestos. Yeah. But ultimately, there are exceptions, and this is what a lot of legal analysts have told me consistently, to searches, right? There's something that is commonly known as the grabbable distance rule, that if a police officer... Grabbable distance rule. And it's not an official term, right? But it means basically if you think there's a safety threat and you're detaining or arresting someone, and there are items within a grabbable distance, that it is reasonable, oftentimes in the court's mind, to search that for a safety precaution. So when they're going through and being like, how far was it? What did he have on him? Yeah. What did you find? That's what the prosecution is trying to do here, right? To push back on this narrative that this should be allowed, because there is also oftentimes the state can make an argument in cases or situations like this called the inevitable discovery exception. And that prevents certain evidence from being tossed, even if it is obtained illegally, because prosecutors, or if prosecutors can prove that it would have been discovered lawfully at some point. So they're trying to look at the safety issue, the distance. Was there a reasonable threat? Do you believe these officers? Okay. Does their body camera footage show it? And the defense is saying they didn't have a warrant. Okay, they shouldn't have been searching it.
But you said something interesting at the beginning. You talked about those crucial 15 minutes inside the police car as Mangione is leaving that Pennsylvania McDonald's. What does Fry say happened inside that car? So
it's interesting. He says that they went in the patrol car, he and another officer who already took the stand. He said there was very little conversation in the car with Luigi Mangione. He says we went back to the station. It took less than 10 minutes. Mangione asked for our names, and he also said that he was sorry for the inconvenience for what happened in McDonald's. And Officer Fry says that he responded saying the fake ID was a bit ridiculous. So details whether or not that is stuff that would raise to the level of being incredibly important in court. The state has their opinions on that, right? But the defense's argument has been he wasn't Mirandaized. That should not be entered into court. The jury should never see it.
So it sounds like there's a question of what happened and what are the exceptions for what happened.
And is there enough in the body camera to say for the state and a judge to agree and say, you're right, there were exceptions that could apply here.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.